What's up, Rebels? I'm recording this for me and maybe also you. Today is a beautiful cold day here in Sydney, Australia. And it's Sunday, and I've been doing all sorts of things, working on 1,000 things at the same time. And it's really interesting because it is so easy to stop uploading videos. So I actually have already recorded 4 videos. One is live on YouTube. I mean, if you're seeing this now, then obviously this one, which would be my 5th one, will be out as well. And it's really interesting because it is so easy to just simply stop. So I recorded already 4 videos, and then, the voice comes in. The little voice that holds us all back from pursuing our dreams. And, then I'm starting to question myself. Why am I uploading this? Like, maybe people are going to judge me. And remember, there was a time in one of those podcasts before where I said it doesn't matter if I don't fear to be judged anymore, but here we are. So I guess it's all very dynamic and it depends on the day. So the lesson in this is that the fear probably will never go away, but it's important that we're not giving into the fear. We can acknowledge that fear of judgment or whatever it is that you feel is holding you back to do what you really want to do. We can acknowledge it, but it doesn't have to take over our life. We can still empower ourselves to do it anyway, despite fear, despite stepping out of our comfort zone and risking to be seen and to be judged. And who cares if somebody's judging me? I mean, actually, nobody cares if somebody's judging me. I'm the one who will care if somebody's judging me. But I guess the main, thing I have to remind myself is that people will always judge. It doesn't really matter. There will be people that resonate with me, and there will be people that won't resonate with me, and that's okay. Can't control that. So all I can control is how I empower myself and how I live my life and how I step forward into, or how I'm committing to pursuing my passions and my dreams. So that's kind of a lesson for today. I thought I'm going to sit down and record now because continue with the momentum that I built, where I feel like just sit down and talk to the camera and recording it for myself, like I said, and maybe also you, to connect with me, but with you, because we're all on this journey together in life, trying to work out who we are and what makes us happy, and hopefully realizing our dreams. So, what else has been happening? I guess another part of, maybe I can get more into everything in terms of recording, because even though it's only my 5th podcast or video, I guess it's like a podcast, isn't it? It's a podcast. It's my 5th podcast. Well, if you're listening somewhere and I happen to post it, there are videos on YouTube as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello. Or I could simply be the void that I'm talking to, but I do not, because I also talk to myself in this video. It helps to record, to get your own realizations and insights. And I completely lost where I was going to go with that. Yes, realizations. Although it's only my 5th video, it is very interesting to see that what I initially thought this podcast is going to be, or the videos, is kind of not what it is at the moment, and to be okay with that as well. And I'm actually relieved about it. I sat down with myself in the beginning, before I started creating the first video for this new channel, The Brand Rebel, and made this content plan of all the topics that I can talk about in terms of branding, when you're, a solo entrepreneur, when you're working for yourself, maybe have a small team, but the brand is essentially you, because you are in your authentic self and you're realizing your calling, and create a business out of it that has a bigger impact for the world. So it has an impact on others. So I wanted to sit down and create all these videos about branding and coming up with categories of the topics that I can talk about. And now here I am. And this is not going to plan, because I am talking about so much out of that universe, that the Brand Rebel universe that I thought it would be, to realize that this is not just, and it's so funny because I gotta live what I preach as well. So this is not just a business, the Brand Rebel. Like, the Brand Rebel is actually me, and sitting down and coming to the realizations that, oh my gosh, everything that I have done in the past was kind of rebellious in terms of the way I run my businesses, my branding, pushing boundaries, seeing different perspectives, not going with the crowd, kind of doing my own thing, beating to my own drum, especially with Kundalini activation and facilitating Kundalini activation. For me, which was massive to step out of my comfort zone, coming from a tech entrepreneur background and having the logical part of me so active for 15 years, and then almost like overnight stepping into my intuition and working with energy, and really there is no such thing as the work itself. There is no such thing as strategy or planning, because it's all based on intuition. It's all based on tuning in, tapping in, feeling, sensing, and working with your senses. And not everything is tangible in the sense that you can explain it. It's quite mystical in so many ways. So stepping from this very planned out, strategic journey into Kundalini activation, where I was such a grasshopper. I always was very creative and intuitive, but I never trained my muscles. Like, it was just very unfamiliar for me to be in that environment, and I felt like such an imposter. for so long. I think it's actually only now that I'm coming to terms with the fact that I know what I'm doing. And that is because I'm trusting. I'm trusting my intuition so much more. So that itself is so rebellious, to step from I guess the analytical mind into the intuitive mind, and stepping away from something that is, I mean, startups is not that traditional. It's quite innovative in itself, but it's a more like familiar environment, professions, into something, into energy healing, Kundalini activation. That is so, can have so much stigma around it, and can be seen as some woo-woo stuff, and people not taking it seriously. And it just has such a split, so many split opinions. Like, I think there is no neutral about it. It's either people are into it or people are against it or judging. So that was really, really frightening for me, to be judged by others. But I had this deep, I don't know, deep calling to just go for it and do it, because I myself was so fascinated because of the experiences that I had when I had these, certain pivot points in my life where I did feel there is something beyond the things that we can explain. There's so much more that we don't know. So yeah, that was rebellious. So it's interesting. And now, initially, I did not want to talk about Kundalini activation on the Brand Rebel podcast, because I wanted to neatly separate it, because probably some of my own judgment, I was thinking that, well, now that I'm going back more into the known business sort of environment, I don't want people to feel uncomfortable when I talk about spirituality. But then I have to come to the acceptance that spirituality is such a big part of who I am. And considering that I have been running my wellness business, energy healing business, Kundalini activation business, I don't really know what to call it, spiritual business, for the past 7 years, it is a big part of me. So this is actually, like, doing this podcast is actually helping me to accept myself more, and having these realizations of the parts that I did try to run away from. So yeah, it's all integrating, and it's nice. And it's so nice. There's so much, like, don't get me wrong, there is so much fear about being judged. But at the same time, it's incredibly freeing to just don't filter anything, to just be myself fully and completely. And those who resonate with me, hey, welcome, join the party. And those that don't, they will naturally not engage. I mean, that's just how it works, right? It's the same with when we have friends. We're not friends with everyone in life. We have certain people that we create relationships and friendships with. It's because we have the same interests, we have the same values. So why not apply that to everything in life and just fully show up for ourselves and fully be ourselves, to be seen and to be heard and to express ourselves in this world. I mean, I'm a big believer this is why we came here in the first place. To play this fun. Well, okay, it's not always fun I was going to say to play this fun game of being human, but I do understand that it's not always fun and we have struggles. Some people have more struggles than others. So let's say to have this human experience, because it is not just happiness. It's not just light. It's also darkness and pain. And all of these experiences make us human. So, this is kind of where I'm at right now. And since this, well, I guess I now defined what this is. I defined what we're doing here. This is a podcast. Even that I wasn't sure about before. But what I will do from now on or continue doing is to just sit down when I feel inspired to record and just share whatever it is that is on my mind. And hopefully there is something for you in what I share. And maybe you will see yourself in my journey. Maybe you'll receive some insights listening to my journey for your own journey. The main thing for me is to connect and to show you that you are allowed to be yourself. And I guess to be an example of being myself. Like, we need more people to just be fully authentic. And we have to realize that perfectionism is not getting us anywhere. It just creates a disconnection between real life and fantasy. And trust me when I say it, and I mentioned it before, I'm a double Virgo, born on a new moon. My sun and my moon are both Virgo. I am the queen of perfectionism for so many years. And it is just, and I've tried so many times to stop this insane perfectionism, these unrealistic ideas of what it should be, which actually all comes down to judging myself. Really. Because what is perfectionism? Who sets the terms? It's expectations. And it's expectations that we set ourselves. And it doesn't mean we shouldn't be doing a good job in whatever we're doing, but it's more important to show up authentically in whatever we do, that it comes from the heart and that we feel connected to it. Because otherwise, what's the point? What's the point in doing it in the first place? When we build a business, for example, what's the point if we're not connected to it and we're just grinding away? It feels like a hollow soul, you know? So, yes. How do you find my new Osmo 3? I really should get like a brand deal with them, because this is like, I mean, I only recorded 5 videos and podcasts, and I'm kind of probably over 50% have mentioned that I'm getting an Osmo Pocket 3, and here we are now, and I'm recording on it. Anyways, I'm still trying to work out the best settings and all of that. And this is all part of the journey. This is the other thing I was actually thinking about today, is it is just so good to just start. And, you know, like with the podcast, for example, now, and recording, rather than me trying to work out like, what's the best settings for my camera, for my audio, just go for it and learn as I do. I could sit down and try to strategize and analyze and plan everything ahead. But then the problem is it takes all my energy and so much time. And then at some stage, because I'm not actually doing it, I'm just thinking about it, I get demotivated and I stop. And this has happened several times in my life before. So trying to catch myself now and just doing it. And this is, again, why I'm sitting down today, to continue the momentum that I built for myself now, where it feels almost natural to just sit down and have a conversation. And it feels not only natural, but I feel inspired to do it. And I really like that. There is no pressure. I don't feel any pressure to do it. It's just, it just feels very uplifting for me. So hopefully this comes across in this podcast as well. Because everything is energy. So how we feel how we feel internally, we are radiating outwards. So yes. That is it for today. I think I've done a good job, like just to give myself some words of kindness. It's over 20 minutes. I managed to just talk and talk and talk without any plan when I was sitting down what I'm going to talk about. But I think there were some nice little cute insights in this conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed recording it. And thank you if you're here and listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for connecting. Feel free to reach out. And remember, you're not alone. We're together in this, on this journey of being human, trying to figure it out, trying who we are, and pursuing our dreams. I'm sending you lots of love, and I will see you soon. Bye.